is wild.
All right, cool, man. So I forgot exactly what we were talking about, but it was, here we go.
Relationship with food.
Yeah, relationship with food. You know, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to be grass-fed, ketogenic, no bread, no soda, or ice cream, soda, and like
Everything.
Right. So, finding that balance, finding that, we'll call it a gray area.
Yeah, and again, like I live in the gray, man, because my biggest thing is, okay, so we can all agree being significantly overweight is unhealthy, and it's gonna kill you before pretty much everything. Like it's gonna harm you way before how many synthetic sugars you're having. It's gonna harm you way before how much anything else is doing to you. Like getting someone to a relatively healthy weight, regardless of actually how you do it, it's actually fascinating, because you were going off that keto question, which is, am I an advocate for keto? And it's crazy, because how is something that's a high-fat diet, where especially in saturated fat increases bad cholesterol, LDL, why does it go down when you lose weight? Because just losing 10 to 20% of your body weight, your blood work just gets better, regardless of how you do it. Low carb, low fat, moderate carb, moderate fat, it does not matter. However, on the back end, once you sustain your weight loss, people's LDL starts creeping up because of how much fat they're consuming, especially it's saturated fat. But and so, can you do low carb or / high fat to lose weight? Absolutely. Do some people have blood work that starts going south after their weight loss? Yes. So it's like, okay, if you want to do the low carb lifestyle, you got to watch those things. And it's like trying to work with someone to build a sustainable lifestyle for them is the game, because that's why you won't see me do, like, I'm not here to just to harp on keto or vegan or paleo, or I don't really care. Like, here's the hard parameters here, like calories, protein, fiber. Let's hit the hard stuff. And then if you want to go into nuance, we can, but like, we gotta make sure we hammer the main things that really move and shake the needle before we go into the nuance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah. So things can be in the gray area, which is the opposite of binary. So black, white, hot, cold, up, down, night, day.
Good, bad.
Right?
It's just good and bad. I just try to get rid of that mindset, which is like, hey, limit. Yeah, I absolutely got to limit some things. We got to promote some things.
So when it comes to good or bad, and we'll call that binary, there's no in between. It's either good for us or it's bad for us. Where does Diet Dr. Pepper fit along that binary spectrum?
So this is where this is going to hurt some people's feelings, but diet soda and synthetic sugars, for all intents and purposes, are safe and effective.
Okay, so one second. The question is,
it's good for you.
Okay, so you're going to go on the record and say that Diet Dr. Pepper is good for you. Can you elaborate 100%. On that more?
Yeah,
because on why Diet Dr. Pepper is good for you.
For example, we'll go into large-scale human-controlled trials when it comes to weight loss and adherence to weight loss. For example, like we talked about, using different tools and tactics to control someone's weight is fundamentally one of the most important things you can do for someone's health. And synthetic sugars, within moderation, where the moderation is, realistically, 50 cans a day. Like, based upon where clinical research is at currently, if you're getting above 50 cans a day, you're increasing your risk of cancers and possibly other things. But that's like everything. And is there any clinical research that shows anything bad on 3 to 4 cans a day? None. Like, there's literally nothing.
I want to interject for a second. So
yes,
the question was, what properties of Diet Dr. Pepper are good for you? Because we agreed that food is either good for you.
It helps to control your calories.
Okay, so Diet Dr. Pepper is good for you. So what is in Diet Dr. Pepper that helps you control your calories that's good for you and beneficial to your health?
Because this sweetener right here, so this has the opportunity to get you a little bit of sweet indulgence without the sugar and the calories. And if this can help you control your calorie intake to a better degree without the other way around, it's better.
So your argument is not that there's anything in it that's good for you, but psychologically, the sweetener helps you control your calories.
Mm-hmm. And so, for example, we literally have
can we agree then there's nothing in Diet Dr. Pepper physically that's in Diet Dr. Pepper that's good for you?
So again, this bait and switch mentality to bring it binary is just unnecessary.
Okay,
like,
but
that's the whole point.
Okay, and I want to have a discussion, right? And
Yep.
I'm going to let you speak, and I'm going to speak, right? But 3 minutes ago, we both agreed that something is either good for your health or bad for your health.
No, you conveyed that. I did not convey that.
Okay.
Someone that has a very diet culture mentality based upon that thought process would. For example, well, my favorite example is water. Okay, water is the most essential thing for life. Can you overconsume, which is essential for life to the point it harms you? Yes. If you drink 3 to 4 gallons of water a day for an extended period of time, you will dilute your electrolytes to the point where you could have seizures and die. How is something that if you don't drink it for 3 days, you can die from not having it that quick? Simultaneously, you can overconsume something so essential as water to the point it harms your body as well. And so, people that use hard controlled science to justify nutrition will, in very rare cases, ever create a binary, which is good for you and bad for you. We'll say more nutritious, less nutritious.
Okay, perfect. So let's use those terms. So can you agree that when we put food in our body, it either nourishes our body or it does not nourish our body?
There's plenty of things that are mute. Like you're taking in a whole possible outcome, which is,
can you give me an example
ineffective
of something that you eat that does not nourish your body and it does not harm your body?
Water.
Okay,
it does both.
Okay, okay. Your opinion that water doesn't nourish your body would be debunked by 100 out of 100. Nutritionists, dietitians, doctors, water, we can both agree, nourishes your body, no?
And it also kills you.
Water kills you. So
yes.
if you drown yourself by drinking too much water, it will kill you.
Correct.
Okay, can we take hyperboles and outliers?
No, it's not a hyperbole. It actually happens in real clinical real clinical life.
Okay.
Like my dad being an interventional cardiologist, my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
There are people that have compulsive issues. Okay, they're compulsives and they hyper obsess over certain things, and people can do it in different parameters. Water being one of them. There are people in the hospital right now that are dealing with low potassium, low sodium from obsessing over water, and they're in the hospital right now. There are people right now.
That's a fair
It's an
statement.
outlier.
That's a fair
but
statement.
It happens.
So next question. If someone drinks 2 liters to a gallon of water a day, does that nourish their body or does that harm their body?
It's doing great things. Yeah. So it's nourishing their body.
Okay, it's nourishing your body. If you drink 2 liters to a gallon of water a day, you're nourishing your body.
Yep.
Okay, if you drink 2 liters or a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper a day, are you nourishing your body or are you harming your body?
It's not harming. It's nourishing because it's taking the water out of the diet soda, and it's just getting rid of most of the synthetic
so now
sugars.
Your argument is that it's Diet Dr. Pepper is providing nourishment because you get water from the Diet Dr. Pepper?
/ the psychological components of... Actually, there's other things too, obviously, usually in diet soda, but yeah.
Understood. But we're going to talk just the physical component. Let's take mental health. Let's say, no, just for this conversation. Okay. And I understand that there might be some psychological benefits of drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. But I want to talk about the physiological change that happens when you consume Diet Dr. Pepper versus drinking water. And again, I completely respect and admire the fact that your clients are seeing success along their weight loss journey drinking their favorite soda. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to talk about comparing Diet Dr. Pepper to any other food source, any other liquid. So if you drink 2 liters to a gallon of water a day, we both agree that's nourishing your body. We also both agreed that everything we put in our body is either nourishing our body or harming our body at some level.
I disagree. That's again, we go back to the fundamental difference. More nutritious, less nutritious. If you're going to convey harm, you're going to convey toxicology. And if you're going to convey toxicology, you have to go into nuance.
Okay, perfect. So let's do this then. We can get to the toxicology because that's a conversation I want to have. But back to the question. If someone drinks 2 liters to a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper a day, are they nourishing their body or are they harming their body?
It's not doing. It's just
Okay.
doing neither. It's
So
it's not.
you're saying that it's doing neither.
It's doing neither.
Okay, so if someone drinks a gallon of diet, I just want to make sure we're both clear.
Yep.
If someone drinks a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper every day, it is not harming your body. That's what you're saying.
124 ounces. That's what, 14 cans a day ish, right?
I don't know the math. If you drink a gallon of Diet
cans.
if you drink a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper a day,
Yeah, based upon clinical research
not
of where
harming
toxic
your
load
body.
is. No,
that's not harming your body.
no. Based upon where clinical research is at and where the toxic levels are to create adverse health effects.
Okay.
No.
So you're confident putting on the record,
Yeah.
and you're saying that a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper a day is not harming your body.
Based upon where the clinical research is at, yeah, you could look at it, man. Like, that's the whole point. My greatest example is this whole new sucralose craze. So here we go.
I don't want to get to the sucralose. I want to continue along this path because I want to get you saying some things because I feel like a lot of people are going to want to see this, right?
Yeah,
Maybe your followers want to see this. My followers are going to want to see this, and I'm going to make a cool video out of this, and you're more than happy to share it on your TikTok as well. And I would love to see you stand on what you're saying today. That if you drink a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper, that is not harming your body. That's what you're putting on the record.
If you want to look where the clinical research is, yeah.
That's what you're putting on the record.
Because
yes, no.
So for example, when it comes, obviously it depends. So when it comes to aspartame, which is, I think Dr. Beck is a Diet Dr. Pepper, is aspartame. I think.
I don't know. I don't drink soda.
So like it depends. Like there's sucralose, aspartame. There's a bunch of different options. Aspartame in particular, based upon my size, because the FDA and where the clinical research is at currently is if you're doing less than 50 micrograms per kilogram body weight, there's been no clinical negative health outcomes. So for example, with me, take that into my body. Okay, me being 6'1", 230 right now, 228. That means if I consume less than 50 cans of aspartame a day, there has been no clinical research to show negative health outcomes.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yes.
So what are the nourishment benefits of aspartame?
It's an opportunity. What is the use of? Let's find some random spice. Let's find some random spice that has mute benefit. Let's go with.
Why can't you just answer the question?
No, because this is the exact reason why you should not be asking these questions, because you are not educated on the subject to understand nuance.
Listen, you're right. I'm not as educated as you. My dad's not a doctor. My mom's not a nurse. I don't have a master's in whatever you have a master's in. I don't. I just want to have a conversation with someone who has a different opinion than me.
Yep.
Right. And
for example,
talk to opinions, but hold on. One question. So, I asked you, what are the physical, and I'm keeping this physical. I don't want to put mental health into this. I don't want to put psychological benefits into this. What are the physical, the physical nutrient nourishment aspects of aspartame?
There are really.
It's
just a neutral thing.
There's no positive health benefits to aspartame,
other than the fact that it helps people control calories, which then can help the back end. No.
Again, let's take that. Okay. So you're saying there's no positive health benefits of aspartame. So are there any negative impacts of consuming aspartame?
In extreme dosaging? Yeah.
At all? In a gram of it?
In a gram, no. You got to go to extreme dosaging.
Okay, so there's no positive and there's no negative.
Correct. In a normal human consumption, there's nothing. It's mute. Like it's just not. Now I
love how when I'm asking you about aspartame, you want to talk about it being in a normal human consumption. But when I ask you the question of is water nourishing our body, you say no because people die of drinking too much water. Like, see that, and that's where you're very inconsistent.
No,
real quick. Like, no, you're very inconsistent. Where like when I bring up healthy things that humans can consume, you try to place this, come from this angle that if you overconsume water, you'll end up in the hospital. But when you go on the record and say there's no physical health benefits of aspartame, and then I ask you if there's any negative health benefits, the first thing you say is in a healthy dose. No, there's not.
Exactly. But that's the whole point, is nuance matters. And so like the whole point is to get someone that is uneducated on a subject when it comes to nutrition to understand. You have to understand in everything we do, there is like at the end of the day, health is actually really easy. Okay. This is one of my dad's favorite statements when it comes to one of his physiology professors in college. Medicine is actually really simple. You either have too much of something, too little of something, or the right amount. Like that's it. Like you either have too much testosterone and it's doing a bunch of nasty things to your body, too little testosterone and you can't grow muscle and do it, or you have the right amount. You either have too little water, too much water, or the right amount. Now, depending on what you're consuming, those variables may be a little more condensed or a bigger window, such as water. Water, you can anywhere between 60 ounces up to 2.5 gallons. You have a huge variation you can work within. There are other things, such as like when you get into mercury poisoning and like bigger game fish, you got to watch out for these things that can get you. So like mercury poisoning, you got to think of all the different variables of nutrition that may have a quicker radiation. Like you get a certain amount of radiation, it kills you a lot faster than certain things. Can your body handle some radiation? Absolutely. We do it every single day. That's what stepping in the sun does. So that's the whole thing, is the fact of...
Wouldn't it be healthier to not have any radiation at all?
No. I don't know. I've never looked at clinical research, so I wouldn't know.
Positive benefits to radiation.
I mean, there's benefits to being in the sun, so I would assume... I don't know if it's the radiation or what. I've never looked at that.
So you're saying that we get positive benefits from radiation from the sun? Is that what you're saying?
I've never looked I've never looked at what that would be, but I would assume that there's some benefits, like because melanin,
radiation.
I don't know. I don't know that world. Do you not understand? Okay, so this is the caveat where we're at. The sheer, so going off of when you were on my TikTok live, we were talking about this. So one of the fundamental principles I love to live by is Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. Okay, meaning you don't make decisions based upon how you feel. And I think this is something you probably teach with what you do. You do things because objectively it's the right decision to make, regardless of how you feel. Like our feelings lie to us constantly. You're not good enough. You have to be more beautiful to get X, Y, and Z. I'm not good enough of a person to get this girl. And obviously, as you a coach, I'm sure you deal with that, the limiting beliefs someone has based upon just feelings being objectively not true. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is the idea of like logic over feelings. Show me data, show me undeniable numbers and facts. And most importantly, within Stoicism, is it's okay to not have an opinion on something that you're not educated in. For example, I've never done an Ironman. I think it's super you've done 2, which is fucking awesome. I have no idea what the best cadence of running is or what the best, what's the process of going through that? Someone like you who's done 2 of them obviously could give me some good perspective on how to do it correctly and how to do it wrong. And so I wouldn't even act like I know that world because I have no idea. The issue is you try to portray yourself to even consider the idea that you are an authority or even ask questions in an area of expertise you know nothing about. It terrifies me that you made a video. I was going through your social media. You made a video on Flintstones multivitamins chewables on how it can't be the number one pediatrician recommended thing because you look at the bottom and the bottle was a bunch of words that you don't understand. You've never read those words. Like, think about having a opinion on something where you don't even know what the words mean. That's terrifying. Now again, if you went to someone that knows that world and says, hey, can you explain to me what this is and why it works the way it works, or what should be, that's fine. But to go on, you want to talk about going on record for something that you're not, that blows my mind. That's like me going to the Iron Man and someone's running, I don't like how he runs. I don't know why I don't like the way how he runs, but just because of how he runs, I don't like it. It just feels like it can't be the right thing. I just wouldn't make decisions that way.
I mean,
Okay.
that's not a decision. That's an opinion. And, we can objectively discuss whether something's good or bad for you. Like your
No, you
opinion
can't.
on someone's running style is not coming from a place of inexperience. I think if you were to go to an Ironman, and maybe that was just a bad example, but if you were to go to an Ironman and say someone's doing something wrong, and coming from a place where you've never done an Ironman, that would make sense. But your opinion of how someone runs is irrelevant to facts of things being either nutritious for you or not nutritious for you. And, maybe I should have used different diction when I said, let's be binary here, where something is either nutritious for you and serves your nutrition and helps you physically feel better and good for your body and your organs and things like that, or it does not help. And, my opinion is that something's either good or bad for you. You could disagree with that, and that's completely fine. And we can still respect each other, and we can still change lives because we're both regardless of our opinions. And if we follow stoicism or not, we're still going to make a positive impact on the world. I just wanted to hear from you that, you believe that Diet Dr. Pepper is good for you. And I don't think you said that today. I think what you said is just that
Diet Dr. Pepper is good for you up until about 45 cans a day.
What's I'm glad you brought that up again. What is in it that's good for you?
It is a tool to control calories.
No.
That's what's good for you.
Physically, what's in it that's good for you?
The opportunity to get a sweetness.
Psychological. An opportunity is psychological. What is physically in a Dr. Pepper that's good for you?
It's not. It's just, again, this constant rhetoric comes out of the diet culture from uneducated people.
I'm not going binary here, good or bad. I switched addiction to good or not good. And not good doesn't mean bad. Okay? Mm-hmm. Something could be good for you. Something could be bad for you. And we'll call this not good, not bad for you.
Yep. Neutral.
Okay. So what's in Diet Dr. Pepper that's good for you?
The water.
Okay. What else?
Yeah, it helps you drink water.
Okay, so how much of the Diet Dr. Pepper is in the water? How much water is in Diet Dr. Pepper per serving?
Just, it's arguably the same thing, so 8 ounces. So let's say we have a can, it's just water.
So we're going to take the psychological and mental health aspect out of this. So if someone were to recommend drinking Diet Dr. Pepper to someone else,
they're getting water.
Say, hey, here's a Diet Dr. Pepper. I recommend this for you because it's healthy in the sense that it has water in it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. If you struggle with getting enough water in your day and incorporating one of these ices or a Diet Dr. Pepper or whatever you want to do to help incorporate some more hydrogen or more water, great. I'm glad. It's a great tool. Because a lot of people actually have that. It's crazy we live in this day and age where we have so much access to water, but people do struggle to consume enough water because their day goes so fast and they don't drink enough water per day.
So they don't have time to drink water, but they have time to drink a Diet Dr. Pepper. Is that what you're about to say?
No, I was just saying if drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper helps them incorporate more water because they enjoy a Diet Dr. Pepper, it has benefit. Because if they're not getting enough water in their day, that's a benefit.
It's ironic, again, that when I asked you if water is nutritious or not nutritious, you couldn't say it's nutritious. But now when I'm asking you what's good in the Diet Dr. Pepper that's nutritious, you say it's the water.
All right, I did this goes full circle into, again, you're trying to create an aha that doesn't exist. That's the problem. Is, again, going full circle on this whole thing. Binary doesn't work. Like, good for you and bad for you is just it's irrational. Like, because it's just not how the world works. Like, there are foods that you should promote, absolutely. More lean protein, more vegetables. Limit your chips and your cookies and your Doritos, absolutely. Do you have to cut out Doritos to live to 95 and not have illness? No, you don't have to cut them out. There's been no clinical research at all that says you have to cut.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
So, which is the same thing in the nuance when it comes to diet soda and all this kind of stuff. Like, am I telling people to drink 40, 50, 60 cans a day? Technically, where the clinical research is at, you can have quite a bit and be absolutely fine. I tend to say, hey, 3 to 4 a day, you're good. Like, if you're doing more than 3 to 4, do I want you to drink more water? Sure. But 3 to 4 diet sodas a day from all clinical research is fine.
A client, you recommend 3 to 4 Diet Dr. Peppers, but
if they're drinking regular,
you would rather them drink water.
I would like them to incorporate both. Or yes, if you want to go to all water, do it. I don't care. But there's no negative health outcomes to incorporating diet soda. There's just none. Like, I can literally show you human control trials.
But are there positives?
Yes, because this is where I was going to go. This is where I'm going to go. They've done large-scale human control trials where they took regular soda drinkers, okay? I think there was like 16,000 people in the study, so it was a really big study. Half of the population went to just water. Half the population incorporated diet sodas, okay? The diet soda consuming group lost more weight on average, kept it off better, and had better blood work than the people who transitioned to water only. Now, am I saying that diet soda is fat burning and blah, blah, blah? No. If you want to break down the probable hypothesis, it's probably because if drinking a couple cans of diet soda keeps you from having a cookie and a chip, and you're eating less calories and you're holding to a better calorie intake, and you're at a leaner body fat percentage and you're holding to those norms, those issues are way more of a direct cause and effect than diet soda.
I'm not disagreeing with you that there are psychological benefits to drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper as opposed to eating an entire bag or 25 chocolate chip cookies.
Huh?
But there are no positive benefits whatsoever.
I just gave you one.
Is that it has water in it?
No, I just gave you one saying based upon
benefits. That's a psychological benefit. That's a mental benefit.
It depends on what when you get into that world of actually knowing how like you want to talk about neuroassociations and all that kind of stuff. Again, it just turns into a very gray area that it's not even an argument. Like it's like arguing two different color grays. Like, is it even worth arguing? Like, why? Like, what's the intent?
And I wanted to get you on the podcast. And I appreciate your time, dude.
No, honestly, all in all, I like the fact, like the way you texted me and the way we're having a conversation. I think you're a cool guy. Like, I really do. I can tell from watching some of your podcasts and the people that you tend to have on, they tend to have very biased intent to how they portray the message. And that's why, like, for example, if you want a no bullshit, like to the punch nutritional expert that I would recommend at least looking into. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Layne Norton, Layne Norton, Norton. He's got a PhD in nutrition. He's a 4-time national champion power lifter, and he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast multiple times. I'm actually about to have him in a documentary that I'm doing. He conveys this message really friggin' hard, which is like, this guy's jacked. He does everything to the book. But again, it's like all talking about the gray area of nuance is super important because like alcohol is also in that nuance. There's actually some benefits to alcohol in small usage. However, it jumps from small benefit to negative pretty darn quick. It's like if you're having 3 drinks a week, there's actually some potential benefit. If you jump to 7 drinks a week, now it's like cancer risk, all these all of a sudden jump. And you're like, oh, crap. Okay, so 1 to 2 drinks a week. And It's like, but that's the whole point is it's important to convey nuance with everything.
But a gallon of Diet Dr. Pepper is not bad for you.
Based upon where the current toxicology point is, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, awesome. And with that, I want to thank you so much, David, for hopping on the podcast today. This is a great conversation. I love talking with people who have a different opinion than I do. And, you know, we can argue that some of these are facts and we can argue that some of them aren't actually facts. And at the end of the day, you're going to do what's best for you. Yep. I'm going to do what's best for me. And I respect you for doing what's best for you. And you respect me for doing what's best for me. And,
absolutely.
And that's what we need to do more of as Americans.
I 100% agree.
So freaking divided, guys. Because look, do I think David is out of his mind? Do I wholeheartedly, unequivocally disagree with a lot of the things he says? Mostly about Diet Dr. Pepper? Absolutely. I think David is completely wrong. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. And David thinks that I'm completely wrong, and that's his opinion. And a lot of people argue about politics and religion and other things. And most of those conversations don't actually matter. This conversation, I think, is important. This conversation actually matters because health is the most important thing. You can't enjoy your money. You can't enjoy your relationships. You can't enjoy travel and experiences if you're not physically capable to do
100%. This is why I've had some hard conversations about fat acceptance with obesity, and like come from someone who was 400 pounds by the time he was 18 years old, pre-diabetic, hypertensive, like what the quality of life I was capable of having at 400 pounds compared to the quality of life I'm capable of having now, it's just better here. Am I saying you have to have six-pack abs to be healthy? No. Should you be within 30 to 40 pounds of your ideal body weight so you can live within a quality life? Absolutely. But I remember I've had some hard conversations with people that are in the fat acceptance movement where it's like, you can be healthy and live a great life at 400 pounds. And I'm like, let's unpack that. And they're hard conversations. And so obviously it's important to have these conversations in a respectful way, challenging, but I think it's super important. So I appreciate you having me on here. I appreciate you having me on here, man. And yeah, looking forward to maybe in the future we do it again.